today's video, we'll be introducing some fundamental exercises for working with spiritual energies. All right, Sterling, can you introduce us to some of the fundamentals?
Yes, the fundamental exercises. I created these exercises, years back. I was working at a church, and the head of the clergy did meditations on Wednesday evenings. He asked me to come and observe. Through my observations, I noticed that 80% of the people that were sitting there had no idea how to meditate at all. They were just sitting with their eyes shut, and they weren't really getting anything out of the meditations that he was doing. He asked me for a solution, so I compiled through different resources a set of exercises. They're like spiritual calisthenics. They start you off with basic focus and then build on top of each other all the way through controlled visualization, which is not just image creation, but you're doing sensory creation. So you're getting tastes, smells, sounds, textures, temperature differences when you're doing them. It also gives you the control so that if you're going through a lead meditation, you go where you're supposed to, and you just don't go off to wherever. A lot of practitioners will tell you, well, if you go off like that, you were supposed to. I do not agree. I think that when you go off like that, it is because you are not trained enough to control your own mind. And that can be a problem because you never know where you're going to end up.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So, the exercises that we came up with, I call the fundamentals. A lot of people find them tedious. I do not. I actually get kind of excited when I go into the fundamentals, just because of how much they magnify your abilities spiritually. Okay, so I'm just going to go through a few of them. Well, I'll go through all of them, but just a little bit at a time. It starts you off with reversive mental polarities. Okay, so you're going to focus on a word or a phrase. The goal is 10 minutes. Okay, most people I know who start this get about 30 seconds, and then boom, concentration's gone. It's gotten worse over the years with people, mainly because of cell phones, computers, television. Your brain gets bored, click, 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 need stimulation, click, 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 need stimulation, click, click, click. That's why a lot of the times you'll sit there and go through a bunch of channels and end up on a movie you've already seen 20 times. And then about 40 minutes into it, you click off and go to something else because your brain's like, I'm bored again. This is giving you control over that again, which is what we need.
Yeah.
We need that type of discipline. It works very well spiritually to calm down, to close off. And then it allows for the spiritual stuff to come in. Otherwise, your brain is going to start creating colors. It's going to start creating things in your head. Memories are going to pop up. All sorts of things are going to go through your mind. Okay, cuts down on stress. Okay, I've used it with a few children, and it's helped with ADHD, and it's helped with them being able to focus and concentrate and calm down. Okay. So, again, you want to focus on a word or a phrase. Okay. The goal is 10 minutes. Always get a notebook. You need a notebook to do these things. If you don't, what's going to happen is, as you do them 2, 3, 4 times, you're not going to think you're making any progress, and you're going to quit. You note the time in the notebook. You note the time of day it was. You note any weird things that were happening. You know, I had a toothache. I was really stressed out, had a really stressful day. All of those things factor in. And you'll find that, and this differentiates between people, there are certain times of the day that work better for certain people to do these things. Okay. Now in the beginning, it's better if you go into a room that you can close off, no noise. A lot of people will turn the lights down. Okay. I wouldn't go total dark because you'll fall asleep.
Yes.
But that's what you want. You want all senses to be pretty much nullified when you first start. The end goal for these exercises, the focus and any of the other ones, is to be able to do this while walking through like a mall and being able to hold that word, phrase in your head while other stuff is coming in and you still have to register it. Because again, the things that we do need to be practical. Being able to run into your basement, close all the doors off to do anything isn't practical in the real world.
Right.
Because things are going to come at you when you're outside and having to deal with other people. And we've talked about protection in the past, and we don't want to have to all of a sudden do like a lower banishment ritual of the pentagram when we're surrounded by a group of people who are going to think we're crazy, and it's not going to work anyway because people are going to be walking through it and breaking it. So being able to do this and fend things off, or being able to go more into your own mind to do it, visualize it, is more of a practical way of being able to utilize any of the stuff that I teach in a practical manner in society. So again, 10 minutes. You don't have to reach the 10 minutes before you go to exercise 2, but you should get to at least 5 and go. Some of the exercises are going to come easy to certain people, some of them won't.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay? Depending, it doesn't matter where they are on the list. Practice the ones that are the hardest for you more often than the easier ones. But don't leave out the easier ones. If you do that, you'll get frustrated and again quit. Okay? And don't forget to mark the day, the time, okay, any problems that were going on, and the outcome, how it worked, how you felt. The second one, you're going to focus on nothing, void. Okay, some people go blackness, but it's not really blackness that we're looking for, it's absence. You want complete nothing when you're doing this exercise. Now, when you first start it, a lot of people have the feeling that they're falling. Okay, and they go like this and jump out of it. It's okay.
Yeah.
Most people have that happen. If it happens a few times, that's par for the course. If it happens a little more, just know that it will stop. That's essentially fear and insecurity trying to disgruntle you from moving forward. Okay? The third exercise. The third exercise is something where it has really nothing to do with the first two. This one is strengths and weaknesses. You're going to write down strengths that you have, weaknesses that you have. Okay? You're going to study them. If you don't know what strengths you have or weaknesses, ask somebody that you know very well, and do not get offended by what they tell you. Okay? This is going to come into play a little later on. Okay? Now the next set we call breath and mind training. We're going to utilize the first two exercises that we learned. You're going to hold a statement for 5 minutes. Okay. Then, after you concentrate for 5, okay, you're going to stop, then we're going to go on to the next. The next part of it is you're going to breathe in. As you're breathing in, you're going to hold whatever statement this is. And generally, people will use a weakness from the sheet that they put up that they want to diminish, get rid of. Okay? And that's what their statement will be about. If, let's say you smoke, I'm going to quit smoking. And you can use negative words in this particular one. A little later we get into something called subconscious programming. You cannot use negative connotations. Your subconscious will break them out and it'll turn into I smoke. And let's not go there, because then it's going to magnify your smoking. Okay, so you breathe in, that's what you're focusing on. As you breathe out, you go to absence. Breathe in, focus on the statement. Breathe out, absence. You're going to do that for 5 minutes. Okay? Then it's over. You want to do that for at least 7 days in a row. One time, 7 days in a row. You should start seeing whatever you picked either diminish. If you pick something that's good, I want to be in a better mood. Your mood should increase. You don't have to stop after the 7 days. Most habits need about 14 days to break. So you can continue it out if it's a habit you're trying to break, so that you can get past the 14 days to where you won't start up again. Okay? That's the breath mind training. Okay? Now, then we go into harmonizing the mind and the body. And this is where you're going to give yourself a physical command. You're going to lay down, sit down, close your eyes. You are going to focus on relaxing, starting at your feet, every muscle in your body, and move it up. Okay. The first time you do this, the whole goal is get every muscle in your body to relax all the way up to your head. When you're done, that part's over. After that, you're going to go into it. You're going to relax all of your muscles. Then you're going to hold them that way for 5 minutes. And then you're going to increase in 5-minute increments up to a half an hour.
Okay.
This is allowing your mind to command your body at that point. Okay. The first one was giving yourself a mental command. This one's giving yourself a physical command. Okay. And this helps with Charlie horses in the middle of the night. This helps with being able to go to sleep because you will be able to calm your mind and your body down. The absence exercise works really well with getting your mind to calm down so you can go to sleep. Because generally it's because your mind is just going crazy and it won't shut off and it keeps you awake. Once you can get absence in and block everything out, it's over. Now, again, with the absence and even the focus, it's pushing everything out. As long as you can hold the statement or the word in your mind, you're good. It's when it breaks, that's when the exercise is over. Okay. All right. Now, then we get into subconscious programming. We talked a little bit about this, but subconscious programming you do right before you go to sleep. You lay down, you get ready to go to sleep. You come up with another statement. This one cannot have any negative words in it. Quit, stop, any of those things. You come up with whatever statement it is. I will be happier for the rest of the week. Okay. You say it over to yourself, over to yourself, over to yourself, into your subconscious, and allow yourself to go to sleep. It's going in. Do not keep yourself awake by when you feel yourself drifting off, going, oh, and then going back into the statement. I did that the first time I did it, and I was up for 3.5 hours. You don't want to do that. Allow yourself to go to sleep. You're going to drift off. Okay. Part of the words may go away. That's okay. Because again, you're not using negative connotation. And that's one of the reasons. Okay. So now we're giving yourself a subconscious program, not a conscious one, a subconscious, to work through your subconscious. Again, 7 days for each of these in a row. That's how you want to do them. Okay. After that, we get into sense enhancement. Okay, we're going to start with sight. Now, with sight, you're teaching yourself how to see things differently. You walk into a room, you're going to look around the room. You're going to take 2 or 3 minutes to look at the room. Okay? You're going to move from left to right, or right to left, it doesn't really matter. Okay? You're going to see things as shapes, though. Okay? Circles, triangles, squares, rectangles. That's how you want to remember these things.
Okay.
As geometric shapes.
Geometric patterns, okay.
Yep. Not 3-dimensional, 2 to start off. 3-dimensional you can go through later. But 2-dimensionally. You're going to leave. If you have artistic ability, you can draw what you saw. If you don't, you can list what you saw. You're going to go back into the room. You're going to look around, and you're going to see how well you did. And you will be surprised at what you miss. The first time I did it, there was this huge circle on the wall. I got a bunch of little small stuff and forgot the circle.
Oh, wow.
Completely missed it when I went back and did my list, because I don't draw that well. I have before, but it's not something that I've ever worked on.
Okay.
The second thing, after you do the shapes, you're going to go in and then you're going to have lamps on. Okay. You're going to go for shading, shadows, seeing shadows. Okay. Again, you're going to leave. You're going to come back in and see how you did. Then you're going to click off one of the lights and you're going to do the whole thing over again and see how the shadows differ than the first time you did it.
Interesting, okay.
Third time, you're going to go in and then all you're looking for is positive and negative space. Okay. So anything on a table, positive space. The actual table face, negative space. Walls, negative space. Anything on the wall, positive space. Okay. Not just that, but if you're sitting in a chair, underneath the chair, negative space. The legs and the chair itself, positive space. And that's what you're going to train yourself for. You're going to do the same thing. All of these sense enhancements work really well with water exercises, sensitivity.
Mm.
Okay,
Okay.
that's what these are for. The sight exercises are great for walking into, let's say you're doing a paranormal investigation and you walk into a home. Your mind will start picking up shadows that shouldn't be on there. It'll pick up positive things that are in negative space that shouldn't be there. That our brains now disallow, because there's so much information coming in to your mind all the time.
Right.
Okay? It has to pick and choose what it's going to focus on. And as we grow up, we're taught what that's supposed to be. Okay? And for particular reasons. You can't sit there and go into and go, oh my goodness, I'm thinking about all this stuff while you're walking across the street and get hit by a car because your mind wasn't focusing on that there was a car coming. So again, practical. But we get to a point where the practical overtakes other things. Not to mention, we're also taught that certain things don't exist.
Right. Yes.
Okay? That's why children are a lot more open than adults are. Generally. Not all kids are, but kids in general. And it's because they haven't been taught all that stuff yet.
Mm.
You know, kids see fairies, they have imaginary friends. Are they imaginary friends or are they actually seeing something? Who knows? It depends on the kid.
Right. Yeah.
And the circumstance.
Yeah.
Okay. But we are taught by our parents, nope, and then we close it off. Okay. Drugs do the same thing. A lot of these psychological drugs shut you off spiritually from everything.
Okay.
Okay. And in certain times, it's recommended. Because if you've got a lot of dark stuff around you, shut that off, you can start working on getting rid of it, and those will help. You just don't want to rely on them for the rest of your life if you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, then we're going to go into sounds. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to go in, you're going to listen to CDs that have music and nature sounds and all sorts of things all together in a conglomerate. You're going to go out and you're going to try to pick out particular sounds. Oh, bird, wind through the trees, anything that's going on, car horns, it really doesn't matter. You know, oh, there's a flute, there's a clarinet. And sometimes you might just be, there's a flute, there's another wood instrument, because you don't know what a clarinet sounds like. The goal for that is to be able to do that anytime you're going anywhere. You'll pick up sounds that most people won't hear.
Right. Yeah.
Okay? And you'll be able to decipher. Oh, here's this, here's this, here's this, here's this, here's this. Way back in time, that's what composers were able to do.
I would say, yeah, that sounds like a mastery
When they were
trick
right.
that the old composers, Bach, Beethoven.
Well, that's what they would.
Yeah.
They would have to, because they would have to sit down and think about, this is happening and I need a flute to come in right here, and what that was going to sound like. They had to visualize that. You know, Mozart evidently was one of the greatest at doing that, because he generally didn't make copies
Okay.
of any of his work,
Mm-hmm.
and they were no erasings. It was like he visualized all that and just wrote down what he visualized perfectly.
Wow.
I mean, it was incredible.
Wow, that's some of the.
But we don't do that anymore. Our music interests essentially have changed. That's not the most, you know, back then, that was the music of the day. Now, you know, you got rock and roll, and, you know, you got your bass, you got your drum, you got 2 guitars and a lead singer, you know, which is nothing bad about it, but it's not as intricate as it used to be at all.
Right, yes.
Okay. But that's what you want to be able to do. And again, if you walk into a place, you want to pick up sounds that other people aren't hearing. Okay. Sense of smell, sense of taste. Okay. Same thing. Okay. Usually, I start out with essential oils, ones that smell nothing alike. Blindfolded, you can pick them apart. Okay. As you get better, you're going to start working with essential oils that smell like each other. Okay. So spearmint pine, things like that. Be able to tell the difference between those two.
Okay.
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 And again, it's sort of the same thing. So you can start picking up smells where there shouldn't be any. Okay. makes you more aware of your environment around you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then we go into touch. You do temperature differences and textures for the same reasons.
Okay.
Now, all of those break down into the elements. You know, sight is fire, sound is air, smell and taste is water, and touch is earth. Okay, but they are all inherently under earth. Senses are. They're all considered earth energy.
Okay.
All of your senses.
Hmm.
Okay, because they all work through your body.
Right.
That's
Right.
essentially why. Okay. Now, after we go through sense enhancement, we go into color creation. Okay. Color creation is very interesting. Okay, especially if you start working with aura stuff and aura pictures and things, because colors will change two-dimensionally. They can change, especially if you're not actively working exercises for them. You will see the opposing colors in 2D, which can be a problem.
Okay.
If you're trying to come back and decipher what the thing meant, because the actual color wasn't the color that you actually saw. It was its oppositional color.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that working the exercises stops. But in the beginning, for a lot of people, it doesn't. Okay? Some things your brain is not going to do. Usually, if you see trees, pine trees, or something of that nature, they're going to be green. You know, things like that. It'll be other things, more subtle things, where the colors begin to change. Okay, and then some people, you know, will dream in black and white more often. You start doing color work, and you'll start dreaming in color, as opposed to just black and white.
Okay.
Okay, now, color exercises. I use 10 chakras, so my color exercises are 10 colors. That's what I use. First, it's holding a balloon with every single color, and you let one go at a time. Okay. The other one is you see balls of color and you move them from one part of your line of sight to the other, back and forth. Okay. As you get more intricate, you change them. It's no longer balloons; it's these. It's no longer this. Then it's not just one thing. It's a red balloon, a blue dragonfly. You'll start doing those. Okay. And again, it's mind control. Okay. Now, after we do that, we go into image training. Okay. In image training, you will pull up an image that somebody gives you. Okay. You will pull it up. You will create it. Usually, it's going to be some sort of a scenic thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You'll see the picture, take it down, and the idea is to pull it back up. All right. Completely the way that it was, without your mind adding anything else into it. Okay? That's image training. Okay? Because your mind will try to add things that weren't there because it's bored. And it doesn't like you taking control, it wants to keep control.
Right,
Okay?
yes.
The next one is sensory creation. Okay? Sensory creation is you create all the other senses. Smells, sounds, tastes, touch. Okay? And you get 3D with it.
Okay.
Okay? Wind blowing in, this, that, the other
Immersive,
thing,
yeah.
all
Okay.
that. Okay? We don't do turning around yet. Because you're doing this essentially with your eyes shut and visualizing it. You're not doing that yet. Okay? You're just creating those things. Okay? And you're not worrying about the picture at that point. You're just worrying about the other things that are in there. Okay? The other senses working. Now, when that's done, then you do controlled visualization, where you bring up an image, you put all the other sensors in there, the sensory creation exercises, you make it three-dimensional, so that you can turn in any direction, okay, with your eyes shut. You can turn around and see everything around you. And again, pull it down, you bring it right back up, without your mind putting anything that it wants into it, okay?
Okay.
Usually I use a stream or a river or a lake, and inherently, almost every single time, a boat shows up in people's visualizations that wasn't there. With somebody in it, or something happening, or an animal pops out that wasn't there, and it's like, no. That again is your mind
Mm-hmm.
taking over. You want that control. Okay? That's what these exercises are for. And again, working it enough times, you want to get into the habit that when you're around other people, you can pull a visualization in your head. still seeing everything around you, but being able to visualize what you want up here and hold it while you're walking around.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
And those are the fundamentals. Okay. These I usually, we give out for free. So.
Yep.
Okay. And soon
So
they'll
that
be
will
accessible on the website soon. So.
we'll be attaching a link on the website and
Yes. Yep. For doing this, and anybody who wants can visit the website and have these. You can download them, you can do whatever you want. I don't charge for these, so yes, go ahead. These are freebies.
fantastic.
Yes. Any other questions on
I don't have any.
that? Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. And do remember to like and subscribe. Thank you.